wanna feel love. I just wanna see light. I just wanna get more. I just wanna be light.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd, and I am back with another edition of Behind the Show. Today, I got two of my brothers, two TLS members. We got Trutha, we got GB in the building here to discuss vibes.
Sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
how y'all feeling tonight, fellas?
Good, man. God is
Feeling
good.
good.
You complain. Happy to be here.
Likewise, man. Good to see y'all doing well.
Facts, big facts. So I want to start off with this particular record's Inception. It's a super vibey, super like summery. Play this on the drive, you know what I mean? Chilling with the family, or in the words of GB in his verse, I'm headed to the beach, you know what I mean? Chilling with the fam.
Beach vibes, yes sir.
It's a real smooth summertime type record. So I'm gonna start with Trutha. How did this all come about for you?
All right, so you want me to talk about like what I wrote? How did that come together, or like you want to talk about kind of like
in general, like from the beginning?
Yeah. Okay, so it's a fun story. So you kind of know the backstory on it. GB knows probably a little bit of it. So initially, this song was pitched from Bill B. He had this record in mind for myself and JusRzd. So the three of us were the original pairing for this record.
Shout out, Bill.
So I'm like, okay, bet, let's get to it. We were talking about concepts, and so the original concept that we had for this was like we were gonna be on some like grown man but Christian type stuff. It's like we was gonna talk through some grown man talk, you know. And the way I worded it, I mean, that's my more Christian version of it. I was like, I think what I said, it sounds like it's gonna be like boss talk, kind of like Rick Ross type of vibe.
Oh.
And we obviously right. So like that was what I really said. So it's supposed to be kind of that type of vibe with it. And so we were like, okay, off to the races. It took a little while, but I was like, okay, let me go ahead. I wrote something to it, and then I think I recorded my verse first. I had the first verse laid down.
Mm-hmm.
Bill and JusRzd was gonna record something. It took a little bit, but then JusRzd came up with the fire chorus in his verse, and he kind of took a different direction from like what we talked about. He kind of went with like more of like, I guess because the beat was called VBS, you know, vibes, kind of like, so he went with that because that's just the overall feel that it gave, I think, and it inspired him. So and it kind of took the song a slightly different direction, but it also at the same time complemented, I think, what I brought to the table. It's just kind of, it was really the vibe that I was on, like, you know, it was really the time I was on with it, so it ended up working out well. But we never did get a verse from Bill. So Bill was like, man, I'm holding up this record, y'all go ahead and drop it. I'm just not as inspired by it. It's fire, but I'm not inspired anymore to write to it, and I don't want to hold up the record. So here, he gave us the record, and so we're like, that's cool and all, but this still is set up for three people. It don't feel complete for me and JusRzd. Like just killed it. I did my thing, but it's like it still felt like it was missing something. So I hit up GB, hashtag send the GB, man, because I know GB I can always count on him to either start a track or finish a track, man. So I was like, GB, man, we need another verse for this record, and he was gracious enough to join us in on it, and so we ended up finishing it out, and then finally got the song uploaded and released. So that's kind of like probably spent more time on it than I need to, but that's the like quick version of the song, kind of like how it came together.
Big facts. And it's funny that you say that, because I remember when you said, you was like, I want this to be like boss talk, and I was like, all right, cool. And you wrote your verse first, and I remember listening to the verse, listening to the beat, and I was just like, all right. And the thing that kept the melody that kind of dropped in my spirit, like as I was listening to it, I was just like, Duke, just what they do. Duke, just what they do. Yeah. And I was just like, this is interesting. And so I just kind of played with that, and then I was just like, low key, this joint a vibe. And then it just kind of played around with that from there, and then that's kind of how the hook came to be.
Yeah, TLS the game, and you know we in this thing. Just let the vibe do just what they do, little baby. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do. Just let the vibe do just what they do, little baby. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do.
And then the verse, I was just like, well, Trutha rapping on this joint. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to stay in his pocket. You know what I mean? Because I like what he did with it. So I'm like, let me try to attack it from a different angle. I know what Bill could bring to a record. I know what Trutha could bring to a record. So I was like, let me try to attack this with some different type of creativity. So that's why my verse sound. I tried to piggyback off of what Trutha did, but then I also tried to bring my own style to it. And I remember because we were sitting with this record for a long time, and I was like, "Hey, yo, Trutha, we should probably try to get somebody else on it." Because like you said, it was like it felt like it still need a third person. And shout out to send it to GB. Every time he send it to GB, he gonna finish it. He gonna flush it. Facts. And, so I want you to speak from your perspective, GB. What was your perspective of how it came to be from your perspective?
Yeah, so it's funny because the whole like send to GB thing. I remember Trutha first told me about that idea, and I was like, oh, that's funny. But it's like it feels like since I worked on this record with y'all, I've been seeing that more and more often. So it's funny to just kind of see the hashtag kind of take on a life of its own. But yeah, I mean, Trutha brought it up to me and was like, yo, there's this record that me and Just been working on, but we still need like a verse. Like, would you be interested? I was like, yeah, like send me what you got. So he sent me the beat, and I when I heard it, like, and again, you can't hear this in the verse, but my mind instantly went to like the beach in summertime. Like it's very like wavy, like even the artwork, that's what kind of got in my head. I was just like, I just feel like I'm just sitting in front of the waves, just like, which is relaxing, is vibey, but it's also like reflective, which I felt like perfectly worked into that concept of like, the grown man talk and like the manhood and the transition into it, or through it. So when I heard that, I was like, all right, bet I got something I can do with this. And so, yeah, the way I just tried to attack it was, kind of play off of that vibe of finding that balance between like vibey, but also like reflective. You know what I mean? Like you get a chance to sit in front of water or just sit in front of like some beautiful scenery, nature wise. I feel like that's the time to just let your mind kind of wander and you're always surprised by the kind of the thoughts that you think, the things that you process through. It's a good place to just kind of like put your thoughts together. So once I took my mind to that place, that was it.
I feel that. I feel that for sure. What inspired some of the bars, and what is your favorite bar from your verse? I'm gonna start with GB because he had the first verse.
Yeah, I mean, I think because of the beach kind of the vibe, the beach perspective that I had, I knew I wanted to do something with Beach Boys. It just felt like felt like the song Good Vibrations, right? Like it just screams out beach to you sonically. So it's like I gotta work the Beach Boys in there somehow. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but I'm gonna figure it out. And so once I kind of got that bar settled in, I just pretty much just kind of just ran with the beach vibe, right? And I was like, I remember thinking about it. I was like, I don't know how I decided that, taking the idea of like crabs and turning that into something, as far as like growth and perspective. I was like, it's kind of crazy now that I think about it. But yeah, I think it was just the idea, especially like being from Maryland, like crabs is what we do here. So, it kind of fit in that regard. But then it just kind of, I think this is kind of like the Christianese, part of me that's just like, we always kind of joke around as Christians. It's like, you can basically turn anything into like a sermon, basically. And so that concept of like, crabs go through this period of like a metamorphosis where they change and, they shed their shell and it becomes like this next thing, the next level for them. kind of taking that concept and just being like, yeah, as a man, like, the Bible says, we were children, we thought like children, we act like children, and then we grow up, you put that stuff behind you. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of like that. Like you as you come into manhood, there's certain parts of you that you got to shed. There's certain parts of you that you got to, develop. And so like everything that I kind of talked about from that point on was just about that transition and the things that have changed. And so I think like one of my favorite bars, if not my favorite, was the metamorphosis, the new addition to Kings, the evolution of things to go from boys to men. So obviously, if you know R&B, that connection between Boys to Men and New Edition, that just kind of like worked out perfectly. And so I think just that idea of, as men going from, whatever we thought as boys, whatever perspective that we had, and now, we're husbands, we're fathers, we're, professionals in the working world. All those things are now kind of culminating. And so in order to get there, there's some things you got to let go of. There's some things you got to reshape.
Yo, I'm headed to the beach, boys. Good vibrations. I'm on the seashore, being soothed by nature. Looking at a shell of my former self, I can't help but think I ain't that different from these crustaceans. The metamorphosis, the new addition to Kings, the evolution of things to go from boys to men. Storms came and went. I know the rain was sent to usher a rebirth. It's born day again.
So it all just conceptually just worked out perfectly. So I'm super grateful for how it turned out.
For sure, brother. For sure. That was deep. The maturity with the crustaceans and all that. I do agree though. That metamorphosis scheme, that was probably my favorite part from your verse too. For sure. Trutha, what inspired your verse? You spoke a little bit about the boss talk and everything, but what was some inspirations for your verse, and what was a favorite bar of yours?
Oh man, I thought we was going in order, man.
No,
we're gonna say the best. We're gonna say the best for last. How about that? Let's take you for last. Like we'll let you go. You'll go after me, but
you know what I mean? I got it.
Fair enough, man. I appreciate it. Man, I had so like you said, I was trying to take kind of like some grown man talk, like just boss talk, but like Christ-centered boss talk, he the boss, type of thing, versus it being me. But like the way I approached it was just kind of like what season of life I was in. So like trying to, maintain weight. So counting calories and stuff like that. And then just the wordplay. I like that whole first like 4 bars, to be honest. I'm working on cutting my empty calories, avoiding casualties. I'm aiming to boost my salary by painting pictures of my reality. This a gallery, and this could never happen if he didn't hang in Calvary. Just because it literally progresses you kind of like to like, even in that moment when I'm thinking about like, just on a day-to-day, like, am I gonna eat fast food? Am I gonna eat healthy? Am I gonna crash out today because I'm stressed? I got a lot going on. Am I gonna be the type of light that God wants me to be? But I'm just kind of looking at all these different things. But then it's like looking at what my life is, and it's like, I think the part where I said by painting pictures of my reality, just a gallery, and this could never happen if he didn't hang in Calvary. And I just think like all the good things that happen in my life are as a byproduct of his grace and what he's done for me in my life.
That was hard.
So it's kind of like
that's the one. That's the one.
I really like that bar a lot. Yeah, because I feel like, even with the music thing, like it's just all centered in him, and the best music I've made has been the Christian music. And I just was also, I think the bar, and this one is one of those things where like you write a bar and it probably makes more sense if the song drops like within like a certain time span. So like there is a bar in there, I might have to look it up because I hadn't said it in a while, but like the one I said about the flight is Boeing part. My soul clean, flow clean. Those times when I was hoping and scoping my future plans as a man, cause I'm a whole king. That's provoking till we declining, now we sloping. The flight is Boeing, so I'm grounded by the Lord's labor. My wife helped me gain favor. I found the good thing despite my nature. Was mindful of the loose behavior, like loose change. I was in the wrong places till I found my savior. Listen, I don't think it makes as much sense in 2026, but when I wrote that bar initially, it was a lot of situations going on with planes crashing and stuff like that. And
I remember
the
that.
company Boeing
Yeah.
was kind of like out of pocket. Like they kept on having plane crashes and stuff like that. And so I'm trying to remember the line before it. How do I gotta look it up now, because that's why this is the only reason why my only gripe is that, like, man, and I would say to anybody watching, when you have an idea, try to execute it and then put it out there, because as time goes on, you just tend to kind of like you disconnect from it, you lose that same motivation. But the line I had was, I have it right here. I said, here it is. My future plans as a man. So it's a whole bar scheme, but I said, my future plans as a man, because I'm a whole king that's provoking till we declining. Now we sloping, the flight is bowing. So basically talking about how, like, you know, we look at our plans in our life, you know, we look at ourselves like, I'm a king, you know, I got to run something and stuff like that. And you look at yourselves all high and mighty. It's like really tempting when God, you know, lifts you up to kind of put yourself on a pedestal and forget who brought you there. So it's kind of like, you're like, man, like, I'm a whole king. That's provoking to kind of get that like thought process. But then it's like we start declining and we slope, and that's where the flight is Boeing part comes in. So I don't know if it was as relevant a couple years removed from all of that stuff, but that was the original design of it. That was a bar really for a specific time.
Yeah.
And so when I wrote it, there was a lot of plane crashes and a lot of planes. You know, planes are usually known for not being safer than driving. Like it's very rare that a plane crashes. You got a much better chance of losing your life in a car crash or just driving on a plane. But more people are scared of flying than they are driving.
Facts.
But that was a little bit different when you started hearing about all these plane crashes happening and stuff. So it's like, I just thought it was a relevant bar, and it was a good illustration of kind of like what it looked like when we start to forget, you know, who our maker is and who got us to that place to begin with.
Nah, that's good, bro. And that happens sometimes, bro. Like when you write in the season that you're in, or when you write in a specific time frame, it's a lot of stuff going on. You might have some current event type bars, and then by the time the song drops, it's just like, it may not carry the same amount of relevance, but the bar's still cold. I don't care what nobody says. The bar's still cold. when the bar's still cold, the bar's still cold. It might not have the same impact it would have if it would have dropped at the time those planes were crashing, but the bar's still cold.
Appreciate it, bro.
Now,
last but not least, man, can I pose the question, man? So what wasn't your favorite bar, Shadaz, bro? Because you had some lines in this joint.
Quotables, straight quotables.
Man.
Yeah, he had some quotables.
The funniest, I knew I had to start strong because I'm like, one is Bill and Trutha. I know what they're capable of. I know there's some spitters, and it's just like, you can't. It's a record. Yeah, it's a feel good record. It's a fun type record. Like if I was doing this record with like Mitch, it could have some lyricism, but we just really on the track having fun at the end of the day. But if I know I'm getting on the track with people who I know their goal is to bar down, it's just like, all right, well, I can't just be happy go lucky on it. So I was like, let me actually take a different creative approach on it. And so that's why the intro, it was just that whole section, just paying homage. I wanted to pay homage to just different people that inspired me in specific times of like not only my walk but also like my musical journey. And so that's why you get the Shaolin reference in a different mode, because he was on Lamp Mode Records. And so it was like, I'm in a different mode, like I merged with Shaolin and TLS the Gang, like Wu-Tang from Shaolin, because I was a big Wu-Tang fan. Which is funny because we wasn't allowed to have secular CDs in my household growing up. So all I knew from Wu-Tang was the commercial records. The ones they had videos to.
Oh, wow.
The ones that was on MTV, BET, that's all I knew from Wu-Tang. I didn't know about the whole projects and stuff like that. So 36 Chambers, I probably was in 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know all 30. I didn't know all 36. So
Don't let the vibe do just what they do. Every vibe I slide resides inside my mind with perfect timing on the surf while shining in a different mode, like I merged with Shaolin and TLS the Gang, like Wu-Tang and Shaolin. I'm wildin'.
that was definitely a favorite of mine. And the last one, I just thought it was funny. but the whole how you closer to God with a mediocre sound,
That's the
bro.
one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
So let me simmer down, no, cause everybody don't really understand where the ground go. It sounds dope, but less the substance is profound, though. How you closer to God with a mediocre sound, bro?
That's the one I always come back to.
Because I've been in so many conversations with different artists and fans of the product when it comes to Christian hip hop, and it's interesting to see the perspective of one, artistry, and then two, fandom, because it's like the fans of CHH aren't really like true hip hop fans. They're just fans of the fact that you're talking about Jesus. But there's nothing wrong with that, because you should be a fan of, if you're a Christian, of us talking about Jesus. But when we start getting into the technicality and the skill and the creativity that comes to rap, it's just like, they don't care about that. So it's like, our conversations are different when we talk to fans. But then when you talk to certain artists and stuff like that, you'll see certain conversations will be had and they'll be knocking people for having trendy sounds or trendy flows or trendy cadences. And it's just like, then you put your music on and you sound like boom back generic number 5, and it's like, how you closer to God, but you ain't even allowed him to tap you into your creativity? Like, how you claiming it should be me? Nah, hold on, brother. Like, you still got to do everything in excellence, and this ain't excellent. Like, so how you closer to God when you got that mediocre sound, bro? Like, come on, let's level up this game. Let's tap into who we are. Let's find out who we are. Let's find our sound. Let's work. You don't have to go super trappy. You don't have to go super boom bappy. Find what works for you and work that kid. And so that's more so where that line came from, because it's just, I've been in so many of those conversations and just be like, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. So yeah, that's definitely that's those two are definitely like some of my favorite lines off the verse. Yeah, man, this record was definitely a pleasant surprise to me, because like Trutha said, Bill was the one who originally had the thought process to even ask me and Trutha to be on the record, and for him to even have the self-awareness to be like, hey man, I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I ain't really in the music making mode. This ain't really inspiring me like it once was in a different season. So here, how about y'all take this? And then for us to be able to call on GB and him come through, same way he did on Joe Pesci. Shout out to Joe Pesci. I gotta mention that, because I know we talk about vibes, but I gotta talk about Joe Pesci, because that's a record I had the concept for years, but couldn't figure out who I wanted on it. Then once I got cool with Alcott, I was like, I low-key do want Alcott on this joint. And I remember I had never finished writing my verse. I was just like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead, write this joint. Still didn't write it. And then I got y'all, I got you an Alcott on it. I was like, you know what? I need to finish this, because this record is fire. And I didn't even know that Goodfellas is one of your favorite movies. So I just was like, this works out perfect. This works out perfect.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I appreciate you for always being available, always being ready, and always killing it.
I was gonna be a hater, but I just remembered you had me on that same project, so I was like, "Oh yeah, he had me on the record." JusRzd too, because he gave me the opportunity. I was like, right. "Oh, I love that, man." But I can't even say that for you.
But I appreciate I appreciate both of y'all for always coming through. I always appreciate Trutha for letting me do my thing whenever he asks me for a hook or a verse. It's never, because that's a pet peeve. Let me just get on my soapbox. That's a pet peeve of mine. When you asking an artist to do something and you have very strict limitations on what they do, or it's not about having an idea or what they or what you want out of your song. It's like, that's cool, but also a lot of opportunity for the artist to be creative in their own way, because you never know, you might get a gem that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I do want to encourage artists, when you do reach out to people, if you're reaching out for a person for a specific thing, let them knock out the specific thing, but then also allow them to be creative in their own way and attack it in their own way. Because sometimes you'll get an even better record if you just allow them the freedom to create. And Trutha literally has always allowed me the freedom to create.
That's literally a testimony, bro. I gave you a very specific instruction on the record. I was like, yo, I just need you. I'm rapping this part right here. I just need you to kind of like sing when I'm rapping, like behind my vocal, so that way it just had like a melodic vibe to it. And he was like, yo, I added this other part too. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. We keeping that, man.
It felt good, bro. It felt in the moment. Like I'm always the type of creative that's just like, I like to listen to the instrumental and let that speak to me, and then whatever comes out of it comes out of it. If we cut it, we cut it. If we like it, we like it. Like if we go with it, cool. But that's just kind of how my mind works. Because once a melody gets in there, it's just like, I gotta hear it. So let me lay it down so I can hear it. And then if I don't like it, all right, we cut it. If I like it, I'm just like, well, let me see what Trutha think. It was like, all right. He was like, yo.
I'm always going to defend that, man. I'm like, hey, I'll try to give people specific parameters because I don't want to leave them out there hanging and not knowing what to do. And then that can sometimes stifle you in the creative process. You just don't even know what to do. But then there's also like being too rigid where it's like you don't give any room for that person to like do something different.
Exactly.
Then like they may not even like what they did. They might have did what you asked for, but then it's like, okay, but are they even passionate about it? Like, they feel like them. So like I feel like that's a huge. Bro. I like that you spoke on that because I feel like that's something that gets lost in the creative process. It can just be too mechanic.
And I've been that person where I've done what the person has asked me. I ain't gonna say no name, but I've done what the person has. Ain't nobody currently in TLS, but I've done what the person has asked me, and it's just like they be like, yo, you killed this. I'm like, all right.
Like, I'm glad you feel that way.
It's just like, I don't like this style of record, but here you go. You like it. I love it, I guess.
More of the story, don't hit up JusRzd if you're not going to let them be JusRzd.
Let JusRzd cook.
Go to somebody else if you want them to be something else.
Let JusRzd cook.
When you let me cook, we can go. When you let me cook, we can go.
We good. Every time.
I've never been disappointed in anything I've gotten from JusRzd. Like, it's been the opposite of that. It's been like, impressed. I'm like, oh shoot, this is even better than I had imagined. Speaking about this just reminded me of the crazy chorus you gave me on the record. I gotta finish this one record you gave me. I need to get that going. You probably don't even remember now.
I don't remember.
Man. You gave me a crazy chorus. I'm gonna send it to you, GB, so you can. I'm gonna resend it to you, just so you can remember what it is. But I'm gonna send it to you. We might use it. Maybe hashtag send the GB, man. We might get that.
You know what it is. See, I'm ready. I'm ready.
And this is how gold is made. So I'm not gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I appreciate y'all stopping by the Behind the Soul podcast, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, y'all. But
we gon' let the vibe do just what they do. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do. Just let the vibe do just what they do. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do. Cause we gon' let the vibe do just what they do. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do. Just let the vibe do just what they do. We gon' let the vibe do just what they do. And we gon' let it ride. Let the good vibes ride. We gon' let it ride. Let the good vibes ride, yeah. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Behind the Soul. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tapped in and never forget, it's free soul to the soul free.